to Top Rope Reality this week. 103. Part 1 Ringside News as always. I'm Mike Hogan.
And I'm Jessica.
Now let's get started with the suspension, the definite suspension of Adam Rose.
It's very sad.
It is very sad for domestic battery charges and arrest. First to start off, you had drugs, and you're suspended for 60 days.
I will say this, though. His doctor gave him a prescription for it, and it was for ADD medication. And he said that he knew about it for over a year. So I do not agree with him being suspended for that.
Well, there must be something else then if they knew about it for a year.
I do agree, however, with him being suspended for this.
Oh, yes, definitely.
In the world of being politically correct, is what you have to do. You got to make the stockholders happy. Even though half the stockholders probably beat their wives up anyway, I'm just saying. You don't know. I mean, you don't know these people.
You don't know. I know.
So you just don't know what the situation is at home. I mean, that's the bad part about being in a environment of being on TV and being well known and stuff like that. Anything you do at home will always come out to you.
You're under a microscope.
Exactly. And the sad thing is, he does have a handicapped child.
He does.
So what the two of them do as a couple really and truly affects way more than them, and they've been to court already, and the wife has asked for mercy and leniency.
And he is getting counseling from his preacher, so
his preacher, very good.
And the judge has said that when he comes back to court, he's going to either bring the preacher back or bring back a note that says that he did the stuff he's supposed to do.
Very good.
And if he doesn't do it, I guess he'll go back to jail.
Right. Well, at least there's leniency there with the pastor being able to be able to counsel him and everything.
But he needs to put wrestling and whatever on the back burner. Don't worry about that.
Yes, worry about your family
get his family life straight, and then worry about.
Well, wrestling's definitely on the back burner anyway, because he's indefinitely suspended, which in layman's terms mean you're fired.
Yeah, he's definitely done with it.
Basically they're just waiting on the circumstances of the court case to be finished. But you won't see him back on television. They'll wait out his contract more than likely, or just release him altogether after the court stuff dies down. So we will just have to see what happens.
And another one on here that I didn't put on here before we started was Christian. I said Christian has been
contract
is done.
Released.
He's been released,
but not from a Legends deal or from whatever kind of deal he has now, but from an active wrestler standpoint, because obviously he has not been active in quite a while because of all the concussions.
May of 14, excuse me.
Yes, because of concussions. Yeah. He quietly retired. I don't agree with that, though. I believe that he should have had the same fanfare and speech and everything that Edge was allowed to have. That just shows how much they actually truly care about Christian.
Yeah, it is true.
But at least we have the Edge of Christian show that probably won't get a season 2 because Edge doesn't want to do it.
I know. Hopefully it does, because it's one of the best things on the network.
Between that and Camp WWE, that's worth the price of admission. I know.
It is. You get pay-per-views.
Pay-per-views.
Triple H, they said he announced a new multi-year wrestling contract.
Yes, so not just a executive, but that means
he gets to bury a few more people for a few more years.
Well, at least 3 more years,
at least
I
3
believe.
more years, yeah.
And then in the contract it says, I read what some of the details were. It said it automatically rolls over unless the company and the wrestler decide to part ways.
Yeah.
That's a legality, I guess. But that gives us a few more WrestleManias and SummerSlams of Triple H.
Yeah, that is true.
And I guess, in order to afford him, they had to fire all these people.
Yes. But hey, Vince, we'll get to this in a minute, but I'll talk about that in a minute. But talking about, parting ways, well, they have part ways with Brooke and Brawler.
Yes, unfortunately, WWE released longtime employee of the Brooklyn Brawler, Steve Lombardi, Abe Knuckleball Shorts, Kimchi.
His best thing was the Brooklyn Brawler. And when he hooked up with Bobby Heenan, and that was it. After that, it was a done deal.
But he had a huge he's been with WWE for like 30 years. And most of his career has been behind the scenes, where when you come into the company and you're doing tryouts and stuff like that, you do pre-tape interviews. And he's the one that produces that. And his opinion went a long way in people getting hired and are not getting hired at all. Just off of your speaking ability and stuff like that. Right. So it's very interesting to see what's happening here, because like we were talking about before, he's now been released, and But about a year ago, I think it was, the Longtime, like 30-year veteran of being the timekeeper,
Yeah.
he got released, and now there's Uncle Fred, Mr. Shockmaster's son, is now the timekeeper, and they say it's a youth movement. And I guess they're being for real.
It's a new era here. Out with the old, in with the new.
Apparently, so very interesting things going on. But that opens up doors because a lot of those conventions have gotten fresh faces.
The hell?
With all the people that are gone, I think we went over those last week, right?
Yes.
8 different. Yeah. So Sandow and Hornswoggle, I've seen where they're on a bunch of conventions already. Rob Feinstein, a bunch of stuff he's doing. And that's going to be the same thing. You probably see Brooke Brawler, like WrestleCade, WrestleCon, things of that nature. So he's not going to be hurting for any money for at least a couple of years. He's going to be on these tours and stuff of these conventions and everything. So.
And, talking about out with the old, in with the new, a new one is Dana Brooke has been brought up to the main roster. And
her voice sometimes gets on my nerves, but I do like her.
I'm
her
glad
look,
they left her with Emma. That worked in NXT and it works here.
It's her best thing, and from what I understand, the reason that Dana Brooke is being brought in and they're doing the whole thing, keeping her with Emma, is because Naomi and Tamina are both out with injuries, and so that fills in a void of a heel tag team type environment for them.
And it works.
And it does work, and so I'm interested to see how they play out.
And she got her first win against Becky Lynch. A
There you
little
go.
poke in the eye from Emma.
There
They're
you
working
go.
the eye thing. They keep focusing the eye for Becky. So
That's interesting.
it is interesting.
But yes, I'm very happy about her being brought to the main roster. And just her look alone, she could be another Beth Phoenix type.
She could.
She has the same type build, Beth Phoenix, Natalia type, build to her.
She does.
She definitely does.
She does.
She has the look.
And she just hones her skills a little bit better, and they hanging out with Emma and everybody else.
It's because from what I read, they're saying that they're very high in Emma right now, behind the
She quit
scenes.
stealing stuff
What?
from Walmart,
Right.
Kmart, or whatever it was.
But it's about time they got high on Emma, because before when she came in, she was just a joke.
Yeah, the bubbles.
being-
I like the new outfit. I like the new music. I like the new look.
Being with Bubbles, having the Bubbles and Santino and all that kind of stuff, it was just, that wasn't going to do well for her in the long run, just being a joke.
No.
I guess the best thing for her was being accused of stealing stuff from Walmart, because she got to go to NXT and the music and everything. She has, her
Reinvent herself.
She reinvented herself. She has she moves to her music and everything now. So
The shoulder pads looking thing.
Yes.
The glasses. The gloves.
The glasses remind me like old school cops. Glasses. So hopefully she didn't steal that from one of the cops at Walmart. But anyway,
Yeah.
it is what it is. But people coming, people going.
Yes.
We got new people on Raw. We got old generation people leaving WWE. But to another company, we're Ring of Honor, ladies and gentlemen. Ring of Honor star has left the company, announced his final date will be War of the Worlds Tour.
Which is tonight, which is Saturday.
So while you're watching this, it's already happened. He's already done. This person just split off with Veda Scott. That will be on, spoiler alert, that will be on their upcoming TV episodes. We don't watch it, so it's not a spoiler alert for us, because we don't get to watch it either.
We did have it, then they took it away. Made her come
That
back.
is true. But Cedric Alexander is leaving Ring of Honor. Rumor has it he's supposed to be in the Cruiserweight Classic.
Yes.
So I could only imagine, especially with Kevin Owens being a fan of his, no time soon he'll be in the WWE.
And then, Cruiserweight Classic, we used to be the Global Cruiserweight.
Yes, Global Cruiserweight Series. Now
no,
WWE trademarked the Cruiserweight Classic and the acronym CWC.
It works.
There
It's
you
like
go.
global force. You kind of stick together. So let's take the global out, so nobody doesn't. When they type in global, they always go to Jeff Jarrett's thing.
Exactly.
And like we saw about earlier, they had a conference call this past week where they reported all their first earnings for 2016. The network is up to 1,824,000 subscribers were announced. You had with 1.454 million of those being paid. So
Very nice.
Vince,
Calculate that kind of money.
Vince McMahon. Well, they're not as big as Netflix with 75 million. So
Well, of course not, but there's not that many daggum wrestling fans compared to.
Not anymore.
That's a whole other thing because that's fans of television shows, fans of movies and stuff like that. So.
Vince confirmed injuries to WWE stars Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, John Cena, and Seth Rollins will be back in action within the next month or so. Randy's the so part. I think the other three will be back within a month.
Yes.
And Vince added that 13
people.
13 new talents will be coming to the main roster. And he said in the next 30 days they will have more talent on the roster than they have had ever before. All young talent.
But ever before. So that means people coming up from NXT. That means more room down in NXT. That means fresh faces for NXT. But what does that mean? Okay, you got 3 hours on Raw. You got 2 hours on SmackDown. Superstars and main event we don't really count. So you got 5 hours basically, and you got all this new talent. Mm-hmm. You know what the best thing for it is? A draft!
Could be.
Why bring all these new talent in when they're not going to have enough room for everybody because they don't use everybody as it is right now?
And 13, you're thinking of 13. Who in the world could be the 13?
Well, you got some tag teams and stuff like that, so that could count for 2. Because look, American Alpha's not losing those belts anytime soon.
No, I don't expect them to be coming up.
But there's takeovers coming up for their rematch.
Or do they just come up and still part of NXT?
I don't think so. I think that what I'm trying to get at is they're having a rematch with the Revival. Mm-hmm. The Revival's not going to win. The Revival can come to the main roster.
They could. But I don't want it to deplete NXT.
Well, I don't think it is. I mean, honestly...
13's a big number.
It is. But they've got a lot of people coming in.
Who?
You got all these people from the Cruiserweight Classic. I guarantee you a bunch of those are going to come over on the NXT and be roster members on there as well. On top of that, you've got 70 total people in the Performance Center training.
Yeah, but are they good people?
Have you seen here lately that NXT is not hurting for nothing? NXT has now figured out how to do just like Raw or WWE, I guess you'd say. WWE has 2 different touring groups.
They do.
NXT now has the same thing. They have their main roster people that are on the television show. They go around to all the major cities now. Okay? Now they got all the Florida people. All those Florida people, they're going to get ready to come up. You got that new tag team we were talking about that's got
Mighty
that
Don't Kneel?
No,
the big dudes.
The big dudes.
Oh, yeah.
Then
what was their name?
But one's name's Sonny something. They're going to change that. Because he's foreign. But anyway, yeah,
that'll probably just be too, like, hawking it that type of way. Two big names.
Right. But here's the other thing. I just read that another tag team is just formed, and they're wearing Mad Max gear.
What I'm
so
saying, I just don't
ready.
want them to take all the good people and just leave us with crap in NXT.
I don't think it's going to be crap. Okay, when they started NXT, nobody watched.
No,
okay?
because you know when the game show NXT?
No, I'm talking about when it first started.
When it first started with Florida.
Yes. So what I'm saying is, back then, people would have said, oh, that's crap.
Right.
Okay, Triple H ain't going to bring them up unless he thinks they're ready to go. You've got people like Biff Busick, who hasn't come up yet. You've got Rich Swann, who hasn't started yet. He's done like 1 or 2 matches.
He's lost a couple matches, yeah.
You've got Patrick Clark that's down there from Tough Enough. He's getting ready. You've got other women that's coming up, like Mandy Rose, like Sarah Lee, like all these other ones. They're getting ready to go. So if they're bringing them up to the main roster, they're not going to deplete NXT because they know how good NXT is.
Well, hopefully not, because you're thinking of 13 people. You don't want, if you do, still, it's...
I think they're
7-6. I mean, you get 7 top people and 6. I'd be okay, but if you take 13 top people, that definitely will hurt it.
Well, see, I don't want just jobber number 1 going up to the main roster.
No, but you got to think too. 13 is a lot.
It is, but it doesn't.
And the tag team, because they just broke up Blake and Murphy. That kills the that hurts the tag team division there.
Yes, and they shouldn't have because
they should not have broke them up. You're right.
Blake and Murphy now look like Joe Schmo 1 and Joe Schmo 2.
Yeah,
because when they're by themselves, they don't they don't really stand out.
No.
And they lost Alexa Bliss. So it's like, okay, well, who cares about them anymore?
That's right. I know, when they broke up, I hated that. Yes, they became nothing.
Nothing. Exactly. But, I mean, you still got, okay.
If you bring up jobbers or bring up people who aren't going to do anything, then they're going to be like Ascension and just come here and get beat. And why bring them up?
Thank you. So
but I don't want them to bring up Finn Balor and Nakamura and Austin Aries and Samoa Joe and you're like, okay, that just.
And I don't think they're going to do that. I mean, because right now on the NXT roster, you've got people like Austin Aries. You've got Eric Young possibly getting a deal. You've got Bobby Roode that's apparently got a deal. He hasn't started yet. You got Samoa Joe that's the champion, so he's not going to come up yet. Finn Balor very well could.
I think Finn Balor's coming up.
Very well could. Bayley.
Because they've already started already with the club. We just got to add the Balor Club is all they got to do.
Because think about it. Okay? I mean, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but look at Extreme Rules. Okay? We're going to talk about it in just a second, but Becky Lynch is in a 2-on-1 situation. Who else? Yeah. Who else is there that can come in and help but a friend that hugs?
Could that be
She's
nice?
Part of the 4 horsewomen.
But it could also be the one who was her former tag team partner too. So
who are you talking about?
Paige.
Boo.
Paige ain't doing nothing right now.
Well, that's true too. But I mean, either way, Bayley's about to come up because Asuka's not losing the belt already. So that's what NXT is good about. Is that they don't just drop the belt real fast and swap the belt back and forth. Not. So, and also, most of the time when they lose the title, they're about to come up anyway. So you can kind of tell on that situation.
Now, see, one thing I would like, if they lose 13 people being tag teams or something, that some of these people that ain't doing nothing in WWE right now,
you can go back down there.
Send NXT to job out to speak, make them look good in NXT.
I mean, I agree. I mean, what they were doing that when they first started, people like Jinder Mahal and folks like that were going down there. But either way, I think the roster's still going to do well because, I mean, it's going to look like TNA down there, but you're going to have Eric Young, you're going to have Bobby Roode, you're going to have Samoa Joe, you're going to have Austin Aries. But you also got Nakamura, and Nakamura's friend, Kenta Habashi or whatever his name is. He's probably going to be part of the Cruiserweight Classic, and then he'll be on the show as well. Tommy may be coming back soon.
Hopefully so, I know.
We don't know. He may be coming back soon.
But I mean, because about that storyline him being attacked, we just
did you also see, this is totally off subject, but did you also see that someone posted that them hiring Mauro Inaro and hiring top names out of New Japan was not a coincidence?
Yes,
because it was happening at the same time. It was Josh Barnett, the guy that did commentary with Mauro Inaro for New Japan. Interesting stuff.
Hopefully, with the 13 new names, it doesn't hurt.
I mean, because, okay, if you take 3 women, okay.
Which 3?
I'm not saying which 3. I'm just going to go with names, okay? I'm just going to go with numbers on it.
Well, the women ain't got too many big names.
I get that.
They got a lot of people that are just...
But they've got, I mean, hey, they got possibilities. They've got Rachel Ellering. They've got Tessa Blanchard they could hire. You don't know.
They need to.
You don't know. So let's say you take 3 women off the thing and you put them onto the main roster. Okay. So you got 10 people left. So that's
you take 2 tag teams.
2 tag teams.
Maybe what would be nice if they go. Maybe they bring Blake and Murphy back together in a tag team would be okay.
Right. But if you say 2 tag teams,
but I really think 2 because it's only be 1.
You take 2 tag teams. That's 4 people. Okay. So now
6.
You got 6 people left, 6 singles guys. I mean, you could spread that out from the top name. You could bring Elias Sampson.
No,
I mean, who cares?
That's what I'm worried about, being around too much. When his stupid honky tonk man get up there and he work.
I don't think it's honky tonk man.
Honky tonk man mixed with Jeff Jarrett.
I don't know.
Crank the guitar over somebody's head, for God's sake.
I don't think they're allowed to do that. Here's the thing. No, listen.
Make it a.
No, listen. Listen to this. Top 10, the WWE Top 10 on the YouTube. I was just watching that. They were talking about tag team formations. People come together. When Rockabilly was with Honky Tonk Man, and Road Dogg came to him and said, we got a lot of similarities and we need to come together as a tag team. Okay? And then Honky Tonk Man said, as Road Dogg leaves out of the ring, Honky Tonk Man said, I'll take care of your problem. He takes the guitar, goes to hit Road Dogg. Billy Gunn grabs it instead, and I don't know if it was my video player or not. I don't think it was.
Yes.
Because when Billy took the guitar and went to hit Honky Tonk Man, it's like it paused, and when it came back, Honky Tonk Man was on the ground and the guitar was shattered. It did not show the headshot.
So did you replay it to see if it was messed up?
No, but I'm thinking that's what it was, is they skipped the headshot.
Well, they do that one, yeah.
So he can't use the guitar on anybody's head. He can only hit him in the back.
He needs to get rid of the stupid guitar. Hit him in the... He needs to get rid of it. Because it used to be the days when you used it as a weapon was great.
But I do like how he came out there to mess with Finn Balor, and he was actually singing a song. He got good heat off of it. I don't know if you watched this past episode. He actually came out from his entrance the whole time playing the guitar and singing.
If he got a pink slip, it wouldn't hurt my feelings at all.
But he was singing a song the whole way down to the ring, and you could barely hear him sing. The fans hated it so much. They were booing him so much. It was like an Eva Marie dadgum boo. It was that loud. He got a reaction. That's all that matters.
Yeah, but that's that one time. That ain't happen all the time. Well, let's go ahead and finish up part 1 here with Extreme Rules, which is next Sunday. You got work for $9.99.
You got an Intercontinental Fatal 4-Way.
Yes.
With The Miz, who is the champion, taking on Kevin Owens, Cesaro, and Sami Zayn. With Zack Ryder being left out in the cold.
I believe we'll get a new champion.
I think so too.
Yeah, the women's submission match. Ric Flair's banned from ringside. Charlotte versus Natalya. And that just leads to Charlotte winning by herself without her father's help.
Oh, so it's submission only. That's the only way you can win it.
The only way you can win it.
The sharpshooter versus the figure 8.
That's it.
Very interesting. Or does Charlotte introduce a new move? You just never know.
It doesn't matter. Charlotte's
winning, yeah. She's just building up wins to Sasha Banks winning at SummerSlam. But I don't agree with Sasha Banks not being used on television.
I don't know about that.
Why
next, Paige is going to be next because she just beat her this past week.
Ah.
So Paige is going to win over the champion.
Yeah.
So.
But I think they should use this. But even if Sasha had to be on Superstars or main event, at least showing that she's on television.
But she may have injury or something. They ain't talking about something.
I don't know. It don't sound right.
It is weird that she's just totally.
Then we have the WWE Tag Team titles on the line with the New Day defending against the Vaudevillains, and I believe the New Day will retain.
Be it the New Day or the Vaudevillains, the tag team titles are in good hands.
Oh yeah, either way.
Because both teams are very entertaining, so it may be time for the Vaudevillains to pick it up and have the champions.
Have the New Day chase.
Have the New Day chase, the fan favorite
Which
chase.
could make more great promos out of them chasing the belts. But they've been champions for a long time.
Because the Vaudevillains are old school, so how about we go back to old school tag team championships?
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
It would be nice. Where the United States titles, Kalisto will lose to Rusev.
Not Rhinoceros.
Not Rhinoceros or Ryback.
Oh, you almost said Ryback?
I almost said Ryback.
I sound like you were saying Rhinoceros.
Another R again.
Rhinoceros.
Rusev,
You think they're redoing
Lana,
this push?
Lana will help Rusev.
So you think he's getting a new push again?
Yeah.
Do you realize it's square one with him though? Back to the U.S. title, which is where he began pretty much.
Yeah, it was undefeated John Cena.
But that's kind of interesting. It's almost like they hit the reset button on him. And then we have the WWE World Heavyweight Extreme Rules match with Roman Reigns, the champion, defending against AJ Styles, who hopefully will be able to perform because he had to be taken off of the off of this weekend's live events due to a banged-up ankle.
He said that, man.
He said he would be there for Raw, but you never know. He may not perform on Raw.
No, he probably won't.
He may not perform again until Extreme Rules. But I mean,
may a little brawl, but there won't be no match for him.
I just hope he's going to be okay, because in New Japan he was having that sciatic nerve situation. Now all of a sudden he's got a nagging injury.
He's got ankles, jumping around. That all the time he springs on the ropes and lands. You got to hurt your ankle every once in a while. So
it's true, but he's not getting any younger, buddy.
Not getting younger, but he'll be fine. This is a lot more tougher than TNA. So
it's true. Under our maybe matches, Dean Ambrose taking on Chris Jericho.
Who did you say who's going to win?
Huh?
You didn't say anything about who you think's going to win the match.
Oh.
You think Roman's keeping it?
I think Roman's keeping the belt.
Do we get a surprise from Finn Balor showing up? Does the truth come out about the club?
I mean, it would be nice for the club to join up with Roman Reigns, like I've been saying this whole time.
I think we're finally going to answer. We thought everything was going to be answered
This past pay-per-view.
Past pay-per-view, but it doesn't happen.
I mean, something's going to happen, but we do have Dean Ambrose taking on Chris Jericho, which is
gonna happen.
Which is the $15,000 jacket versus Mitch, basically.
Well, what's interesting, he put him in a straitjacket this past week on SmackDown.
Isn't that weird?
Could they have a straitjacket match?
It would be weird.
It would be weird.
Plus, we have.
You think the club would take on the Usos? I mean, they've had it before, but they could again. You know, put some kind of stipulation. They've been using a lot of chairs. Maybe that's a tag team chair match.
Then we have Becky Lynch taking on Emma, or Becky Lynch and Paige taking on Emma and Dana Brooke.
Or Becky Lynch and Bayley. Like
you just never know.
Never know.
You never know what they're going to do in WWE right now.
And I saw that too. Sheamus and Alberto.
Why?
They're really not.
They're both heels. Who cares?
But they broke up, you know, League of Nations. But that should have been
neither one of them went face.
Nope.
So I don't think it's a necessary match. But
if it is, put it on the pre-show.
But in other news that you did not put on here, it has been confirmed. Del Rio and Paige are now dating.
Yeah, that still freaks me out.
Did you see all that? All the pictures
it.
and stuff? All the memes. Every adolescent boy is now crying.
38 and 23.
38 and 23, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
That man and Robin are great.
Maybe she likes her daddies.
You just never know. I mean, but dadgum. I mean, because I know when he left WWE this last time, he did a shoot interview and he was talking about him and his wife. So, from what I understand, apparently he's getting a divorce.
Well, after he's sucking face for Paige, I hope he was getting divorced.
That was a horrible looking kiss, though. He wasn't even picking.
He don't have a kiss.
He was doing this. His lips were like sucked in. I'm like, what the heck? Maybe he doesn't like kissing in public.
That's the way the Mexicans kiss. I don't know.
Maybe he was nervous in public. That kissing. But that guy, I mean, he's a lucky man.
Yeah, a lot of, like you said, a lot of young boys.
A lot of people upset about that.
A lot upset the Paige. Damn it!
A lot of people upset about that.
No.
Somebody was like, I thought she was with the guy for that band. I'm like, you don't watch Total Divas?
Yeah.
Split up like 3 months ago.
Yeah, they've been done.
Which was more than 3 months ago because the show just did. So it's been like 6 months ago that happened.
Well, that's it for part one, folks. We'll be back for
sorry for the rambling.
Part two pay-per-view review.
It's what we do, though.
That's what we do.
And what we do is pay-per-view review as we finish out Starrcade with 1999 and the year of 2000.
Yeah.
Because we never got to 2001 Starrcade because they got bought out.
But the WWE.
This is true.
So come on back to part two. Top Rope Reality. I'm Mike Hogan.
And I'm Jessica Carter.
We'll see you in a few clicks. Pointing this time. Oh, there you go.